Hi y'all, I'm Allison. Time to pick out what books I'll be reading in January. By the way, Happy New Year everyone. I hope it goes incredible for you. I am so fired up. Got the flowers back and the stars. Game's really straightforward. Spin the wheel, get a flower, leads me to a book. If it lands on one with a star, then I not only pull the flower for number one, but I have to go up top and get a star as well. Before we begin though, let's do a round of name a book. Let me grab my prompts. By the way, we made it through all of them, so they are all back in here. There's no telling what we're going to get. Okay, I'm just going to go from the center right here. And everybody scour your shelves for... Okay, you know what? Let's find out how many Pride and Prejudice fans I have up there. Name any book based on Pride and Prejudice. So you're not obligated to read it. This is just to see how many we can come up with. I personally have a ton of them. I'm going to just put that back in here somewhere. And maybe your list will lead me to some new ones that I haven't heard of. Enough of all that. Let's find out what my first book's going to be. $16. Oh, I hope it's a good one. This kind of sets the tone for the year. No pressure. Nonfiction. Okay. Actually, I do want to read more of these in 2023. By the way, we got a new cat, and she's quite vocal, so you'll probably hear her. I don't know if she'll let me pick her up. No, she already ran off. If she comes by again, I'll try and get her. I was a little intimidated by starting out with nonfiction, but you know, I think it's a sign that I am on the right track because I'm going to be making some changes to my reading habits this year from what I've been doing in the past. I'm going to lighten my load at least some of the months. I'm not going to be playing The Sims every month. They will probably still make an appearance. I haven't quite worked that out, but I want to be able to do some other things as well this year. I'm not going to get into that in this video. I think what I'll do is I'm going to have another video coming up with the rest of the books I'll be reading for the month, and I'll tell y'all about all the changes I have planned during that video. So, all of that being said, this shows I'm probably doing the right thing. So my first book of the year, Dodge City, Wyatt Earp, Bat Masterson, in the Wickedest Town in the American West by Tom Clavin. I am really looking forward to this. I haven't read a good Western in a long time. This is nonfiction, and it's Wyatt Earp, Bat Masterson, cross paths, 1870s, and Dodge City is the most violent place in the entire nation of the United States. And these two self-made lawmen are gonna clean up the town. We're gonna have Doc Holliday, Billy the Kid, Theodore Roosevelt, Wild Bill Hickok, Jesse James, all sorts of the notorious figures that we know from the Wild West are all going to factor into this. And I'm really looking forward to this book. It's supposed to take the myth out of the legend and give us a more accurate depiction of these two characters and this time in American history, which really doesn't need embellishing because so much happened. So I'm really excited for this. Okay, so let's replace 16 with this very first one. No Fear Shakespeare. I do like those, and I've been wanting to read more classics as well this year. All right, spin number 2. Number 8. And we get contemporary, nice and open. Any contemporary book. I'm sure I have some new ones that I would love to get to. Another really broad prompt. which can be a little daunting for me. The reason I play the game is I can't make a decision. I want to read everything. So, but I found one. Amy at A-Star Reads absolutely loved this book. Based on that, I got myself a copy. Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. It's definitely contemporary, and I am looking forward to reading this. It's over the top. Rachel agrees to spend the summer with her boyfriend at his family's home in Singapore, thinking she's going to have a relaxing time, not realizing how rich they are. He grew up in a palace. So this is opulence, over the top. I think it's supposed to be a satire, all sorts of drama, and I'm ready for a fun time. So we'll have the two opposite spectrums between Dodge City and opulence in Singapore. So I'm looking forward to this, especially based on how much Amy loved it. Okay, let's replace that with this orange one, Alphabet Game. This is a fun one. You take the last letter of the last book that you actually read, and it has to be the first letter in the book that you pick. I keep seeing cats, but they're not coming close enough for me to catch. All right, third spin already. $17. We're in the middle of the board. I like that. We've been hovering up top for a long time. In the Black. Title written only in black ink on spine. So you may or may not know, but my daughter came up with this prompt for me back when I started playing Just Spin It, because she noticed, with helping me pick books, that there are very few books with black ink on the spine. Everything's written in a color. And I didn't realize how true it actually was until I went digging. I had a hard time, but Holly Jackson came through for me. Good Girl, Bad Blood. It is the sequel to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I am so excited to continue with this. In the first one, we have Pip. She is senior, doing a project, her final project for school, and there had been a popular girl, Andy, had been murdered 5 years prior in her town, and her boyfriend committed suicide. And it has had repercussions for this small town ever since. Pip, our main character, decides to do her final project based on this crime. She's basically looking to cast doubt on the original investigation, and it leads to so much more, of course. I really enjoyed this. You kind of got a mixed media theme. There's like texting, and she's doing a school report, so there's part of her reports, her note-taking. Great book. Quick, fast, entertaining, intriguing read. So I cannot wait to get to part 2. And I believe part 4 is coming out. In this one, Pip is not a detective this time. She's got a podcast. And someone goes missing, but the police won't listen. So I'm excited for this. Oh, out of curiosity, if you're watching this while you're sitting by your books, take a glance over at your shelves and see if you notice the same thing too. Do you have very few books with black lettering on the spine? Because I'm curious. I have a feeling that either, I don't know if that's just the genres I go for, or if that's a legitimate publishing trend across the whole board. So let me know if you notice a lack of them. Okay, let's replace that with this orange one. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. So something travel related. All right, 4 spin. Happy New Year. All right, so first we get the first flower. And that is TBR Hobnail. Okay, this list is just chef's kiss. So hopefully my jar won't screw it up. Let me find it. These are my rereads. These are books that have been on my shelf forever that I have read, obviously, in the past, but no longer really recall the specifics of them, and I want to see if they should stick around. So, I am going to be reading The Rosetta Key. This actually works out because it is on my Wheel of Shame. It came up before, and I didn't read it. Okay, so this is actually part 2. I thought this was the beginning of it. The first one is Napoleon's Pyramid by William Dietrich. Here is The Rosetta Key. I have the first one on my Nook. Okay, so we have American adventurer Ethan Cage. He is traveling with Napoleon's expedition across Egypt with a medallion that hopefully will lead them to solve a riddle from 6,000 years ago. So these are adventure fictions in the spirit of Jack London, Robert Louis Stevenson, all of those just good old adventure, swashbuckling stories. The jar actually did right by me. And what I'm going to do is put the Rosetta Key up here as a playsaver kind of thing, just so I don't forget, because the first one is on my Nook. Now, before we replace that, we got to go up top. This could be good or bad. It could add books. It could take away. There's no telling. So, let's go. Okay, that's more towards the 10. So we just cycle back around. So we'll be taking the 5th star. I hope it's a good one. This will be fun. Activity book. Try to do a puzzle every day. I have quite a few like crossword puzzle books or logic puzzles. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Let me know who all's got tons of like activity books, crossword puzzles, word searches, all that stuff. You buy them and it's like, yeah, and then you never do them. So this is my attempt to get them done. All right, I just grabbed a few that were readily available. I've got Sherlock Holmes puzzles, How to Get Away with Murder. This is puzzles to see if you can commit the perfect crime. And a Jane Austen word search. These are like cryptics and word searches. You know what? I think I'll do this one instead of just straight up word search every day. This will be fun. So I will do at least one puzzle a day for the entire month of January. So let's replace number 1. And that is going to be this green one. American history. Fiction or nonfiction. I love history. And, I don't know why I put it back. Let's replace our star. Now we're not going to look at this because this is a surprise. You don't know. Okay. My last spin. Are you ready? That is 15. And we get mythology. All right. This will be good. Yes. Based on this, 2023, I don't want to say it too loud and cause a jinx, but mythology, of course, I'm going to continue Percy Jackson. I don't think any extra information is needed on this other than I am on book 3, which is the Titan's Curse. Percy's going to obviously be dealing with the Titans this go round, and I am really enjoying my reread of the Percy Jackson series. I've got, I think, all the way through the Kane Chronicles, and then I haven't read anything past that. So I want to get caught back up and dive back into this world and read all the books that I never got to. I was going to try to rank these in the order of which I'm most excited for or predict what would be a 5-star. But honestly, this is such a stellar list. I'm excited about all of them, and I cannot wait to begin reading for the month. So, yeah. Did anybody else's year start out as great as mine? And am I just really digging myself a hole here? I hope not. Next month, if all goes according to plan, we will have another themed board, and I'm excited to try that. I think it'll be fun. The themed months are a lot of fun, and I'm kind of, yeah, variety is good. Now, if you're curious about the changes that I've got coming up, keep an eye out for part 2 of January's TBR. Hopefully that video will be up in just a few days, and I'll explain what I'm changing, what I'm adding, what, may not be around anymore. And we will go from there. All right, y'all. I hope you have an incredible beginning to the year and that it goes swimmingly for you. Have a great one, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.